3 more men earn the ECHL's highest honor. It's goals galore as the All-Stars put on a show. And the 2019 All-Star event should feature even more fireworks. The league meets in Indianapolis. At least one former player and thousands of fans come to take part right now on ECHL Week.
Hi, welcome to a special edition of ECHL Week, coming to you this time from the Hilton Indianapolis Hotel in Indianapolis. We're going to look back today at the 2018 ECHL All-Star Classic, but first, my friend Stanley and I are going to take a look with you at the Hall of Fame class of 2018 of the ECHL.
Steve Chapman began his involvement with the ECHL in 1992, and that association lasted for 23 years. First as a sales executive for the Birmingham Bulls, then as general manager of the Mobile Mystics, and finally as team executive for the Gwinnett Gladiators. He helped pave the way for the ECHL in the southern United States. During his ECHL tenure, the current group vice president for the St. Louis Blues was the only person to win the league's Executive of the Year award in consecutive seasons.
When you stand up on that stage, you know, it's a strange thing to be inducted into a Hall of Fame. I don't know how many people get to do that. It's a rare honor, but it's kind of weird because it kind of feels like you're giving your own eulogy at one point, right? Like you're talking about yourself in this third person sort of thought. But when you look out over the crowd, and I was extraordinarily fortunate too. I had, you know, tons and tons of texts and phone calls, and then I had friends from Atlanta, I had friends from Mobile, I had friends from St. Louis, friends with the Blues that came over, and just to be surrounded by them and your family, it was a great experience for me.
Sam Fedoruk spent 14 of his 17-year pro playing career in the ECHL and has played in more league games than anyone else. In the all-time ECHL record book, he's 10th in career assists, 17th in points, and 29th in goals.
It's like one great memory. My whole career was one great memory. There was never a bad situation where I didn't want to be involved with it, or, you know, the guys were always great. There might be one guy you didn't get along with, but for the game, you would go to battle with that guy, and your differences were off the ice. It was just, that's where I learned to be a pro. That's where I strived as a pro. That's where I learned to, you know, continue to love the game and knew what it meant to work, you know, as a professional. So, you know, for me, it was just a great ride.
Jason Saul is only the 4th goaltender to be selected for induction into the ECHL Hall of Fame. He ranks 2nd among goaltenders in ECHL history in games played, 4th in shutouts, and is 5th in victories. He is one of just 6 goaltenders to have posted at least 4 consecutive seasons of at least 20 wins, and also holds an unlikely-to-be-broken record. He had 3 assists in a game for Augusta in December of 2003.
So when I ended my career as in Augusta, and of course the Hall of Fame wasn't around with ECHL, so when they decided to do it, and those first couple of years, it was like, you know, maybe I have a shot. That'd be a pretty big honor for it. And then I saw some of the guys that were getting inducted in, and those are some tough shoes to fill. So when I got the call, I was extremely happy and humbled as well. After we won the championship, Brove gave a speech and told the fans that if it wasn't for me, that we would never have won, just because of the dedication, the teamwork that I put into it. So that's more rewarding for me than my play that I could imagine.
Hi, we're your Tandy Law Firm Ice Girls for the Indy Fuel, and you're watching the #1 source for ECHL News, ECHL Week.
Lots of other things going on in the ECHL. Let's take a look at news from around the league.
Although the 2018 All-Star Classic is in the books, details about that a bit later in the program, the 2019 event will feature an altered format. The January 21st, 2019 showcase will feature a 3-on-3 tournament with 4 teams, just like this year. However, the teams will be 1 from the Eastern Conference, 1 from the West, and 2 teams from the host Toledo Walleye. Each squad will include 5 forwards, 4 defensemen, and a goalie. The top 2 highest scoring teams after the first 2 rounds will meet in the final. Those teams will do battle in a 10-minute running clock game to determine the champion. The skills competition will take place in the intermission breaks. Details about those events have yet to be announced. Former ECHL player Andrew Carroll died earlier this week as a result of a fall while at O'Hare Airport in Chicago. Carroll, the only player to wear a letter all 4 of his years while playing at the University of Minnesota Duluth, started his pro career in the ECHL with Charlotte. He played more than 250 games in the league with the Checkers, Greenville, Bakersfield, and Idaho. He retired after the 2015-16 season. During his time with the Steelheads, he was a regular volunteer at youth hockey practices and led the team in appearances at local schools. Andrew Carroll was 32 years old.
Wayne Gretzky and highlights of the All-Stars when ECHL Week continues.
NHL players have amazing talent, and some of the very best developed right here in the ECHL.
Beagles in, he scores!
Now, follow all your favorite ECHL alumni every night on NHL Network's primetime hockey show, NHL Tonight.
Both teams recognize how big this matchup is.
Fire save by Dubin, rebound! Goosebump stuff.
NHL Tonight, every night 6 Eastern on NHL Network.
I'm Cam Reed of the Indy Fuel, and you're watching the #1 source for ECHL News, ECHL Week.
One of the highlights of this year's ECHL All-Star Classic was the presence of the Great One, Hockey Hall of Famer Wayne Gretzky, who played the first 8 games of his pro career in Indianapolis. He spent time shaking hands with fans and spoke with the media.
But the real stories I always say to people are the guys that play years in the minors and grind it out. Guys like Marty McSorley that I played with. Guys that would give anything they could to get to the NHL. So those are the true heroes in my mind, how hard they work. And it starts at places like this. These kids are getting an opportunity to play in the All-Star game. A lot of people are watching. And I always love the feel-good stories of guys that come out of the league like the ECHL and make it to the NHL. Those are great stories.
Now that we've heard from the Hall of Famers, time to take a look at the 2018 ECHL All-Star Classic highlights.
Now Hauk for the South Division goes cross ice on right wing at center. Tyler Camerati gains the line. He bolts right in front. The shot, he scores! Now they're 2-on-1 at center for the North over the line. Hunter Brinker right in front. He shoots, he scores! Now Grant Bessie over the line. He's centered one right in front. Falou shot, he scored! Nolan Falou. Chris Stein through center of the line with an open net, dishing right circle. Bessie shot. Oh, the save by Pecktrave, who was acting as a surrogate goalie with a minute left. 2-on-1, Kirker over the line for Waidu, right circle, right in front for Kirker with a shot. Oh, with a scintillating skate save by Willett, the rebound in front, the Hudson shot, and Willett robbed in, and now a breakaway in the empty net for Camerata. The shot, he scored! Martin Willett has been sensational in goal in Game 1 for the South Division. We have a breakaway going in on goal, and the shot scored by Dante Salvatore from Rapid City, who has a breakaway over the Central Division line. He's in alone. Salvatore shoots, he scored! Raskop in front of the goal with a French pass for Tanul, and as a breakaway, he's over the line. Dropped into the crease for Neal with a shot, he scores! They're going end-to-end with breakaways here. Over the line, the Mountain Division controlling that. Makowski, the shot, score! Now it's center Neal over the line, right in front for Danforth, the shot, oh, right on, stare at the save, the rebound, open side of the goal, right edge, and a bounce right over the stick of the uncovered Mike Neal at the horn. 2-on-1 for Isaac over the line, going right in on goal, centering into the crease, a great save by Willett. Oh, he absolutely robbed Makowski, point blank range, and Perisic again to the crease for Makowski, scores! The line on left wing, now right in front of Bessie to the crease for Camerata, the backhand shot, scores! It's a 2-man breakaway for the South Division. Camerata is in alone with a shot, he scores! A breakaway pass now over the line, Blakely is in alone, the shot, he scores! What a goal! Knocked down there, Salvatore over the line on right wing from the circle, the sharp angle shot, he scores! Now the South Division will lift Willett, from fourth attacker. From the circle, right in front, Tyne shoots, he scores! Now Taylor Cameron at the top of the right circle, right in front for Bessie with a shot, he scores! Flip Watson leads it off for the bound division. He's going right in on goal. He fakes, he shoots, he scores! Over the line. He's scoring right in on goal with a shot. He rang it out the post. To the left of goalkeeper Shane Starrett. And that ends it. Mountain Division wins it in the Sudden Shootout. 1 goal to none.
In the skills competition, Cincinnati's Justin Danforth won the fastest skater event in an all-star record time of 12.75 seconds. Wichita goaltender Shane Starrett was the winner of the rapid-fire shootout challenge with 9 saves on 10 shots. And Orlando's Nolan Valou managed the hardest shot. His best blast clocked in at 97 miles per hour. Taylor Camerata of South Carolina picked up the MVP award. He had 5 goals and 2 assists in his team's 2 games.
That wraps up another edition of ECHL Week from Indianapolis. Thanks for watching. Don't forget to check us out on all our social media channels. You can keep up to date on everything that's going on throughout the ECHL.
We close today with a look back at some of the sights and lasting memories of the 2018 ECHL All-Star Classic and the very popular Fan Fest event. We'll see you next time.